Okay, so we are multiplying and dividing in general because it has been a while since we've done this. So we're going to do something pretty easy. We're going to do 3 times 5. What's 3 times 5, y'all? Okay, again, if you are testing, mute yourself or mute your mic so you don't hear us. 15. Alright, that's easy enough, right? How many of you remember that when we do 30 times 5, we do 5 times 0 and 5 times 3? Good there? Okay. Now we're going to do 300 times 51, just because 0 doesn't really help us any. Now here's where we sometimes forget, because it has been a while since y'all have had to do this. What you're going to do, you're going to do 1 times 0. It's going to go on the first line, and it starts right underneath that number. So you did 1 times 0, 1 times 0, 1 times 3. Now, I've got to start under my second number. I've got to start right here under the 5. So I'm going to add a 0 under my first digit so I can start under my 5. And I do 5 times 0, which is 0. 5 times 0, which is also 0. 5 times 3, which is 15. And then I add those and I get 0, 0, 3, 5, 1. So 300 times 51 is 15,300. Okay. Here's where we get a little tricky. Here's what we're learning now. You guys should know this should be old news. Okay? The second part may have been like, it's been a long time since I've done that, but you've seen it before. And you've practiced it before. So now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to do 30.2 times 50.1. Anybody want to guess what we're going to do? Does anybody know how to do this? Destiny, help us out. What do you think we're going to do? Okay, when we add and subtract, that is true. When we multiply and divide, that is not true. This is another one of those things that has different sets of rules for add subtract than it has for multiply divide. So we're going to do 1 times 2. Actually, our first step is going to be ignore the decimal. So maybe down here at the bottom, right, step 1. What just happened? What? Oh no. My screen flipped. Ignore the decimal. Okay. We do 1 times 2. 1 times 0. 1 times. We put our, I call it a ghost 0. Make a ghost 0 under the 1 because I have to start under the 5. I have to start under the number I'm multiplying. 5 times 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 5 times 0 is 0 plus 1 is 1. 5 times 3 is 15. I'm going to add them together. 5, 1. Now, 30 times 5. What is 30 times 5? We already said. What is 30 times 5? So does it make sense that our answer is going to be 15,000? If 30 times 5 is 150, then 30.2 times 5.1 should be just a little bit more than 150. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do is we're going to go, okay, I have 1, 2 numbers to the right of my decimal in my entire problem. So I'm going to start here and I'm going to go 1, 2. I have 2 numbers to the right of my decimal. And my answer is 154.02. Does that make sense? Okay, my second step is to add all the decimals in my problem. And my third step how am I going to word this? No, stop flipping. My third step is to place the decimal in the answer from right to left. Somebody give me a decimal value, a 3-digit decimal value. Anybody, just say one. "5/10" is what we would say. Somebody give me a 2-digit decimal value. Give me 2 digits. All right. Let's do 24. So I have 57.5 times 24 hundredths. Okay, that's my first step. 4 times 5 is 20. Carry my 2. 4 times 7 is 28. Plus 2 is 30. 4 times 5 is 20. Plus 3 is 23. I add my ghost 0 so that I can start under the 2 because now I'm using 2. 2 times 5 is 10. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 1 is 15. 2 times 5 is 10, plus 1 is 11. I add. And this is where it changes. 57 times less than 1 cannot be 13,000 or 14,000, which is what that almost is. It's going to go down because this is less than 1. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 decimals in my problem. 1, 2, 3 decimals in my solution. So my solution is 13.8. Any questions?